liked the album, but I was let down.
Overall,
I was
overall I
disappointed.
don't. First off, it's a long album. It's 23 songs.
He needs to stop doing.
If he would have condensed this album, though, maybe you feel different about it.
Of course,
I agree.
I say that about a lot, about CLB, about Scorpion. I say that about damn near every album since Views. If he condenses it, it's a lot on there that I don't like.
I say that about Views too.
Yeah, Views, I kind of go straight through. That don't have
Views
as many.
fire.
That don't have as many skips as everything after Views. There's more skips on here than records that I will go back to and listen to.
He's right.
This is not a good album.
Yes.
It's okay.
I agree.
Drake, you're Drake. It's all right. I think,
agree.
yes, please do take some time off.
This is the best Drake album that I've heard since.
For me, since Scorpion.
Yeah, it would have to be since Scorpion.
That ain't saying a lot, though.
It's not saying the most,
That
but
may be true too. This album.
This album ain't it.
Hello. Uh-oh. Hello.
He got too much money, though. It just seemed like he not putting
Why are his headphones on his head like this?
forth effort to
What
really.
the fuck?
You feel like this is low effort, low energy from him?
I
Do
feel like
y'all
a lot of
agree?
music
Do y'all
this year has been low effort,
Yeah,
low
for
energy.
real.
Do y'all
It
believe that
sounds
this is
like
low
they
effort,
go in
low
and do
energy?
one take and put the record out. You know,
That's
mix
what
it.
I
Whatever the first
not
thing.
from him, though.
I
Y'all
agree.
believe
I
that this is
accept
low
that.
effort?
Not from any of these superstars. You're supposed to take your time and like.
Why we can't?
I'm with you though. I ain't gonna lie. This might be my last rap album review.
It's been a bad year, yeah. It's been a bad year for rap music.
I'm
music
done.
in general, honestly.
I think I'm done with the.
Poll is up.
No, I ain't gonna say R&B been going through that, but that's a topic for another time. All of you rappers sound, at least 98% of y'all sound uninspired. Y'all do sound low effort. There's no new, exciting, creative energy on the way. All of y'all sound like y'all trying to sound like
Someone
the
else.
artists that you like a lot. None of y'all seem to be trying to innovate. Y'all are letting the tech outpace you.
And to me, it's even beyond any stylistic or sound or trying to sound like someone else. It's the songwriting.
I'll say this from what Joe Budden just said. I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I've been sirening about rap for a minute. I wholeheartedly agree. You can call me whatever you want to call me. It's old, it's tired, and everybody wants to rap like everybody else. Who they sound like. Some of our favorite songs. Some of them do a good job, but some of our favorite songs, they sound like somebody else. Everybody sounds like somebody else or whatever else everybody else is listening to.
They're not writing
putting forth any effort.
yeah,
yo.
into the
It seem like
actual song.
Whatever come in your head on first, like I don't write songs. So with you, like I can ask you this: when you get in the booth or when you writing, even if you're at home and you start writing, and you say it back to yourself, you don't be like, nah, I could do better.
Well, I do that.
It seemed like that whatever's the first shit that come in their head,
Correct.
they
Put it
just
down.
write it down, notch it down. Let's get in there.
Well,
I got
you
something
know,
to do.
you know, part of
That's
the-
a skill too. That is a skill too.
What?
That part, like recognizing
Caught the moment,
when the
the moment.
simplistic shit
Yeah.
is going
I
to
could
go.
do better than
Like
this.
I tell a story all the time about when I did Soul Tape with Fab, and he sent me the I Want You Back joint, and he sent me it with his verse on it, and he said Derrick Rose 8 to 10 times in the verse, and me and all my niggas laughed and was like, oh shit, Fab falling off, but I ain't gonna tell him. I'm gonna just go in there and do what I got to do on the song. Like, why the fuck would he say Derrick Rose 10 times in a row on this song? Why he didn't hear that sound? Whatever. I ain't gonna be the one to tell him. Dog, when that shit dropped,
It worked, yeah.
it
That
was the
line.
most fire
That shit was
part
fire.
in the whole song. Anytime we performed it, the crowd
New
just
poll
sung
up,
that
new
whole
poll up, new
part. I
poll
was
up.
like, Joe Budden, you falling off, nigga. So
poll.
I'm saying that's a skill.
It is.
To be able to do something simple and weird and it work.
And there is something beautiful
And Drake
about
does that. So I want to give him grace and the benefit of the doubt because
There's another. There's
at,
another part.
at this level of song making, his brain is doing something that our brains can't.
There's another part to your point, and not.
Now, again, the reason why I want to listen to this entire thing is because, one, I haven't listened to this. And usually for podcasting purposes and for some entertainment purposes, I listen to I listened to Joe Budden's podcast, but so I haven't these past like 2 weeks. I've been slacking or whatever the case may be. But in listening to Joe Budden's podcast, I know how he feels about Drake, one, and two, I wanted to see if it was just a straight criticism where he was shitting on Drake, because Joe Budden doesn't shit on Drake. They have a complex relationship, but for all intents and purposes, they are friends. They appear to be friends. They appear to be cool. They appear to be cordial. They appear to be on a phone call basis. And it's not out of the ordinary for Joe Budden to talk about Drake, be critical of Drake. It's based off of what I saw on that post, I think it's a little out of normal for Drake to respond that way. Academics, and y'all know we don't watch Academics on here. We're going to watch some of Academics too, because he has some sentiments too, and I want to know his opinion on this because he's in that same circle. He's close to them as well. So it seemed out of the ordinary for Drake to respond the way that he did to me.
Not really Drake maybe, but a lot of the rest of these niggas, they ain't writing. Everybody's off that with Hov saying I don't write, Wayne saying I don't write. So a lot of these niggas are not writing. They're going in the booth and it's damn near freestyle rap. But that's why it sounds so.
I can't keep coming in here reviewing rap projects. I don't look forward to them. I'm looking forward to Offset next week.
Yeah, me too.
I thought Offset was dropping this week. I'm looking forward to that because I do feel like that's just going to be heat all the way through. I've seen the track list.
Yeah.
It looks nuts. It looks nuts. That's going to be crazy. But if you're not delivering at that level, I'm be honest, I don't want to hear none of that shit y'all doing.
I just want to encourage people to rewrite a verse if it's
That's what
not
I'm saying.
all the way there. Like,
Yo,
it's
bro, I
okay to
just
spend
feel
a
like
little
the
bit of
first
time
thing
on
that
this
comes
shit.
to your mind.
How do you know the verse ain't there?
Play it back.
But I'm just saying, if you
team, listen to it.
yes, man. How do you know the verse ain't there?
I don't like doing that.
That happens a lot, bro.
It does, but it's a
All
cop-out.
of
It's a
y'all
cop-out.
ain't nice enough to drop the way that y'all be dropping.
That part.
Some of y'all just drop too consistently for the level of talent that you're displaying at the moment. It is uninspired out there, and it's been like that for a year.
Because
we damn near at the end of the year. I can tell you on one hand the times I've gotten excited in rap music. Gunna album got me excited. Killer Mike album got me excited.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all feel that way? And mind you, I've been saying this about rap all year, signaling about rap all year. We are basically at the end of the year. We have, the artists that we have been talking about. So once they release, things are going to shake up. Things are going to be different. Things are going to be changed. However, based off of what I've seen, based off of what I've heard, and maybe I need to go to the clubs more. Maybe I need to be just in the mix more. Rap is really not impressing. Juicy J put out a tweet earlier today, and he said, sales-wise, rap is down. He was saying, sales-wise, rap is down. I don't look for sales to be the measuring stick in the bar. You know what I'm saying? For everything, I think sales is a cop-out of sorts. However, rap music is down 40% in sales this year. This is a fact. Now, this is without accounting Drake. But I think you would be silly. I think you would be silly to say, I think rap is in a good space. I think it's fine. I think it's blah, 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 blah. I would think that you would have a hard time saying that everything is just okay. I just think so. I just truly, heartedly think so.
That's it. I think.
Jack Harlow's album was good.
What's
some
happening
shit on
is
there.
a lot of these niggas are playing the streaming game. They playing the
Travis shit was cool. I never went back to it.
I never told
went
you
back
how I
to
felt
it.
about that.
You were right.
Yeah.
I just went back over the weekend.
Yeah.
Last weekend. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
This is my issue with Drake. Well, with this Drake. And I knew that this Drake wasn't going to be a Joe Budden Drake when Yachty said all that shit that he said. And now that we have this project, where is that verse? Where is the verse that Yachty said is arguably one of the best verses Drake has ever written? It's nowhere on this project.
Somebody that listened to the album extensively, please tell me. And I'm going to bring this up tomorrow. Timestamp it. This is 52 minutes and 29 seconds into this episode. I mean, I can screenshot it this way. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. Where is that? Because Lil Yachty did say that. We did hear that we are getting old Drake. I want to hear that. Where is that? From Drake specifically. Not from J. Cole. Please do not tell me about J. Cole. Where is that specifically from Drake?
No.
His top 10,
He don't
20,
even have
30,
the best
40,
verse on his project.
top 50 verses are not on this project. And that's where I recognize I have to let go of Drake. I have to let go. The Drake that I love was the best hook creator, maker, loner outer of in the world. Mm-hmm. What is the last memorable hook you've heard from Drake? And I'm not trying to shit on him. That's my man. But I want to open up the discussion. Even when he used to do features, it was his dominant hook. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard a dominant hook from Drake in a long time.
That's a good point.
So now you couple that with he don't rap the way that he stays scheming, take care, views.
5 a.m.
That if you're reading this
is
so far gone. Even some of the shit that was on, what was that, Scorpion? More Life? What was that? One of them shits. This is like Yachty rapping. This is like he rapping for the children. And that's yo, dog, I had to look up how old this nigga was when I finished listening to the album.
For those that watch my last stream, I don't want to reiterate too much of what I said there, but I'll reiterate too much of what I said there. I personally think that Drake thinks that that's the way to stay cool and relevant and et cetera, et cetera. And to an extent, he's right. I know, shocker. To an extent, he's right. And somebody would say, hey, Omar, look at the numbers. Look at what he can do when he walks out. Look at who's next to. Look at whatever. But him staying relevant by, tagging along or being connected with whatever's hip, whatever's popping, whatever's new, whatever's etc., can keep you in the zeitgeist. It can keep you in the conversation. It can keep your aura up. It can keep it up. But those that love music, those that love Drake, those that love, hip hop music are gonna eventually have a problem with it. And then they're gonna put you in a box. Then they're gonna put you in a place. And that would be fine if Drake wasn't as sensitive and as emotional as he is, because I believe still that Drake wants everyone to like him, especially those that matter the most to him. And I think somebody that matters the most to him, if he has a list, one of them is Joe Budden. Not just because Joe Budden is one of like the most, majorly acclaimed, highest rated, whatever personalities when it comes to the media side of hip hop, but because Joe Budden was once a person who praised him and was a person that Drake looked to as far as like bars of success go, rapping wise, skill wise. But now that somebody who once praised you doesn't think that you're as good as, people thought you were, or he thought you was, then all of a sudden it's an issue.
Mm-hmm. You are 36. Your birthday is in 20 days. I Googled that too. You will be 37 years old. Get the fuck away from some of these younger niggas and stop fucking these 25-year-olds.
Now that's ironic. That's crazy. I'm
listening to the album.
You mentioned it.
Why are you still fucking the 25-year-olds? You're a 37-year-old billionaire. I get it that you appeal to the world.
When stay current.
I get it that you appeal
Niggas
to
don't
the
wanna
world,
grow
and
up.
part of that is.
Niggas don't want to grow
But
up.
that's what I'm loving
They wanna
about
stay
Cole.
young.
Like my shit is happening in reverse. Like with Cole, he used to rap about kid shit. I'm a grown ass, like real Jersey City nigga. I don't want to hear how you lost your fucking virginity. And then he started to grow up. And then the rapping sounded
rapping
like
grew
an
up.
adult rapping. I'm want to hear adult Drake rapping for adult people.
No, you're not gonna hear that.
That's my issue with him today.
You're not gonna
He
hear that because
he rapping for the kids, the streams,
the Instagram
accolades,
comments, the algorithm.
Yeah,
I'm rapping for this.
No,
He ain't really rapping. He ain't
He's
trying
not-
to rap for me.
No, he's not.
And I accept that.
I don't know.
I accept that. Listen, he has given me.
Enough.
I'm certainly don't want to sound like I'm sitting here complaining. If
This
he
is
don't make
important. This is
another
important.
song, I am well fed. Pause.
Bro, that was my take.
He did it already.
I could hate everything he puts out going forward.
And you know who else I felt this way about too? Yeah, this is where Drake cut it off because, you know, we got to keep the conversation going. And also don't get me wrong. I think that even the response is like a strategic response to get back or continuously into the zeitgeist, into the conversation, to keep it going. So even if you're not talking about Drake's music because you don't like Drake's music, you're still talking about Drake because of the antics, which in turn boosts the name, boosts the search, boosts the algorithm, boosts all those things. And so now those that, again, don't like Drake for the music, weren't talking about the music, wouldn't have been cycling through the music, now they're talking about him, boosting him to others who are going to listen to the music or are going to give it a shot. And even those who don't, now I am forced to listen to the music, to try to dissect the music, digest the music, et cetera, continue to go back to see if it's changed, et cetera. And now that's just more listens and more streams, plays, pushes for Drake. He already gets a lot of it. He doesn't need it all. Somebody would say, why does he need it? I mean, he's a capitalist. It'll never stop. He needs it all. He needs it all. I will say this. I felt the same way about Kanye West. Oh, and you'll probably never hear me say this, but I felt the same way about Kanye West. At a certain point in time, and although I do think some of the experimental stuff is good, at a certain point in time, I came to the point where, you know what? It's time for me to pack up and move on. It's time for, I'm not waiting, I'm not anticipating the stuff. I'm just not. Somebody was like, I tweeted out something the other day, and somebody was like, yo, the Kanye West stuff just leaked. Kanye just leaked. And I was like, man, I'm sorry. I don't care. I do not care. He's not for me anymore. I've packed up, and I've moved on. Picked up, packed up, move on. Now, is he appealing to a different audience? Sure. Is he appealing to maybe even a more massive audience? 100%, absolutely. But he's not for me anymore. And I would rather be in that position than be insufferable in my old position, waiting for somebody that I used to love, who's done me wrong, to do me right. Simple. And I may be making this sound more dramatic than what it needs to be, but I would be stupid to sit there and just wait all day.
I got enough Drake in my iTunes. I'm good.
And
I'm good. I mean, enough great Drake.
And
I'm
part
good.
of this is really shouldn't be on Drake. It shouldn't be on him. In 2024, we should not be looking to Drake to continue again to set the standard and the sound and the premium and the bar moving forward headed to 2030. He did it for 15 years already. When are you giving him a break?
Well, that is no, it is on him.
It shouldn't be on him.
He put it on him though.
It shouldn't be on him.
Because you keep.
He did it already.
You keep.
He changed the sound in rap. He changed the sound in R&B. He changed the sound. He's changed
I agree
sounds. He
with
done
all of that.
birthed too many of these
But
niggas.
the fact that you want to keep highlighting your run at the top, you're putting that on yourself.
But he is still at the top.
All right then. So now
he should be able to do that.
So people can judge you for that too.
Yeah.
Good point.
People can judge you for that now. If for the things that you said, changing the sound, et cetera, et cetera. Now this sounds like autopilot Drake to me. This sounds like the Tesla when you just hit the button and it go.
I'm finna get some
but
Cardis too.
Where I
I'm finna get the
disagree with
Bucks.
him, I'm with all of that. The person at the top, that don't mean that you're tasked with changing the sound of music or dictating the sound of music moving forward. That's a lot to ask of somebody to do that from 2009 to 2024.
I don't think there has to be
That's not what I'm
reinvention.
saying.
I just want to hear excellence.
I'm not saying that he's tasked with it, but when you put that and you embrace that I am the one that do this, then yeah, now
I'm still the one to do it. And then when I beat Michael Jackson, dog, I don't care where I'm at. I done beat Michael Jackson.
But it's not that it's excellence to you, Parks. It's not that it's excellence to you. And this is the thing about art. Art is amazing, right? Art is amazing because of its subjectivity. It's amazing because of how it makes people feel. It's amazing because it always transforms. And also time. Time is also a thing. Time is also a thing. All artists grow and change. All art grows and changes. You know? And I think that what we have to remember is that like time is a key factor in art. Time is a key factor in art. How you felt the day of the art dropping is important. How you feel re-listening to it through time is important. And when you revisit and do comparisons across time is also important. So Parks is saying, you know, I want excellence. And there's some good credibility to say that Drake can't give better than this. Drake can't give better than this. But to somebody, Parks, this is excellence. This is somebody's excellence. This album, For All the Dogs, is somebody's top 3. Just like I saw down in the chat where somebody said Donda is Kanye's top 5. Dog, Kanye's first 5 for me was his top 5. That was his top 5. However, for somebody else, it's different. It's gonna be different. And so I can't take it away from Drake if, you know what I'm saying, somebody believes that this is his top 3 and then Parks thinks that this is bottom 3, and then, you know, you kind of got to meet somewhere in the middle. And then in a couple more years, that person who thinks that this is Drake's top 3 might have a whole different sentiment and hindsight and all this other stuff like that. And also, let me say this too. The person that thinks that this is Drake's top 3 thinks that Parks' top 3 is the reverse. They think that Take Care and what is not Comeback Season. Take Care is ass. They think Views is ass. You know what I'm saying? They think those albums are ass and these albums are good. But it's about time. That person also hasn't been listening to Drake as long as Parks has.
Jackson and the Beatles.
I disagree.
That's why he ended that Cole record talking about one more and I pass my beat it. Yeah, you better pull them accolades out. You better pull those out. Yeah, I just think I miss the Drake that was rapping for the rappers. I miss the Drake that when he dropped, the rappers hit him. Not these little fucking kids. I don't give a fuck about you and Kai Cenat. That's gonna sound like hate.
It is.
It's not hate.
It's not hate.
It is.
It's not hate.
Go find some niggas your fucking age.
Shouts out to Kai Cenat, I agree. Shouts out to Kai Cenat. But I agree. Validation. Where are you getting your validation from? Where are you getting your validation from? And it's strange because Drake is supposed to be a hip-hop head. He's supposed to be a historian. He's supposed to be et cetera, et cetera. But where do you get your validation from? And Joe is saying, hey, man, the guy that I know who loves hip-hop music, who is a historian, a student of the game, a pen, isn't looking for his validation in these guys, the young guys, the 20-year-olds, you know, the ones whose introduction to rap might have been. That's a good question. You got to ask people what their introduction to rap is. And I'm not saying this about Kai, so don't get it twisted. But if your introduction to rap is like K Flock, You texting him, hey man, how you feel about the album? And he says it's good. I don't know.
Hang out with them.
Oh, shit.
Get some of that sauce.
That's not what keeps you. No, that's not what keeps you
All the
popping.
older niggas
Fuck
buying
these
music.
kids.
That's not what keep you popping. And if that's
exactly.
the game he playing, I gotta play this game.
All
to
the
stay
older
popping.
niggas streaming music
Dog.
and buying it, Joe? No.
Dog, all
Them niggas listen to old school shit all day.
All that shit y'all saying for me applies to the field. I have long before called this nigga the golden child. Different set of rules apply.
Correct.
He's him. He is not one of them that y'all telling me about. I don't hold him near.
Dog, this album is gonna be the most streamed album in
holds himself
Spotify
there,
history.
though,
Why?
When you that,
Even if it ain't good.
When you that type of golden, you got the glow. You feel the, when you got that glow. When you that, you ain't, nigga, you walking in with the glow. I do what I want, and that's what's gonna be popping. Whatever
Yes.
I want is gonna be popping.
So where's the motivation then? With what you just said, where's the motivation? Great point. If I could do whatever I want to do, and it's gonna pop, it's gonna be number one. It's gonna do all of this.
agreeing with
Where is the motivation?
That wasn't what I was saying, but that was a double
I'm
entendre.
anti-ice.
But wait, that's not what I was saying, but that was a double entendre. I was saying whatever I do is going to dictate.
Yeah. So now you can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
But to Ice's point, I'm agreeing with Ice. But when J. Cole comes in that booth and y'all was there together, that's your motivation. You don't go Marlene, Darlene, Charlene, Felicia. I don't give a fuck.
And that's why I have a problem.
That's where your motivation comes from.
Look, hold on. And
When
that's
I'm
why-
a rapper,
Y'all,
right.
y'all can't do that and then tell me that y'all the Spider-Man meme. Because no, it wasn't.
Who said that?
Whoever said it.
That's my problem. That's my problem. Cole is right there, but you won't kill this nigga. You still putting him, it's me and you. It's me and you. No, separate yourself.
No. That's true.
Separate
Even if
yourself.
You talking about with Cole?
Yes. Tell him, fuck you too.
Cole is lying to these niggas.
I know you lying, but claim it.
I said months ago
That's
that
the
all
problem.
these niggas get together and start lying.
But
oh,
dog-
he's the best in the world.
Dog.
Oh, I love him so much.
Listen. Wayne. When Wayne was in his run, what did he say? I'm the greatest rapper alive. People who disagree with it, whatever, he treated every verse like that. T.I., I'm the king of the South. You got to crown yourself and still do it. You can't be at the top and sitting there telling Drake, it's me and you.
I think they're gonna dick suck Joe Budden. I mean, not Joe Budden, but Drake a little bit more. And I know the segment it goes extremely long. I'll listen to it on my time. Yeah, they go for a extremely long time. So then I want to get into Drake's response based off of that. Got Joe Budden trending today. This was extremely an interesting day. So based off of what I heard, this sounded like a fan sharing their criticisms about Joe Budden, about the podcast, about his sentiments. About the album, about how he felt about the album, you know. And I didn't think it was super egregious. I really did not think it was super egregious. However, Drake truly took it personal on some Michael Jordan type shit. Let me pull that up. Like he took that so personal. 'Cause mind you, everybody else talks about their sentiments about the album. Everybody has sentiments about the album. Everybody shares their views, their opinions, etc., etc. But when Joe Budden does it, this is Drake's response to Joe Budden right here. Says, Joe Budden, you have failed at music. Oh, wow.
Oh, man, not again.
You left it behind to do what you are doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching this, just remember you are watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke, living check to check, spelled strangely. And the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty NC jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you are the GOAT. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap, not because you accomplished all you need to its cause, or all you need to. I'm sorry, I'm reading this terribly. Accomplish all you need to. It's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in this generation to think that everyone's entitled to their own opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need to put it in simpler terms, I own a 767. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions. That was a lot there. Shouts out to Andrew Sullivan for gifting a sub. I felt that was kind of harsh. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I felt that was a little harsh. Just to keep it 100. And then Drake goes on to even take shots at Parks. Parks, this is a picture of Parks from Joe Budden podcast, the engineer that was there. Sorry, one more thing. Imagine listening to Mark Zuckerberg tell the next generation about good verses and turnt beats, right? Now, there's some hypocrisy in this, and I want to talk about the hypocrisy before I break into anything else, because I find it extremely funny that, for one, Drake talks about being a part of the 450 men, but Drake was a part of the 450 men.
I'm happy. I'm honored. I'm honored to be around you, man. This is the first time.
Yo, come on.
Okay, so I can't be honest on your network here. I can't be honest to your fans and say I'm honored to be around you. We all used to listen to you, so I don't need. You need to take. You need.
Oh, you did.
That's what you need. You need to learn how to take compliments.
I think I take compliments.
No, you
bro.
don't take compliments, bro. You think everybody bullshitting you.
I'm
That's
jaded, right?
You
I
are,
got this.
man. I'm genuinely saying it's an honor to be around Joe Budden. It's the first time we've met. You know what I'm saying? Formally. I'm happy. I'm honored. I'm.
It is like, fast forward, it sounds like night and day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you used to stretch out the vowels,
Yeah.
like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But, you know, moving forward, it changed. Was that stemming from that situation with Wayne? And
I think that was just the times, man. It was like finding myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can always hear a rapper finding themselves if you give them more than like 5 or 10 years. You know. So yeah, I mean, I used to rap like Budden back in the day.
Yikes.
Like with the way I used to try and get like certain flows off, and then
it is like fast.
I'm not gonna lie. Giggling and grinning through that is arguably the most disgusting. Giggling and grinning is the most disgusting thing, and I can only imagine Joe Budden is gonna play that at the top of the podcast next podcast. But that is legitimately crazy. That is legitimately crazy. The way that he slopped up Joe there, but also Parks has a response. I think this is simple. Parks Music, this is Sandra's Rose, Drake's song. And if you look in that middle section right there, it says studio personnel, Ronald Muno, Noah Shabib, which is a 40 if I'm not mistaken. Then Parks is right there. Parks is right there. And then if you look at the engineer, Parks is as well right there. Parks is right there. Man, that's kind of crazy. That is legitimately crazy. And I think a lot of people like Sandra's Rose off of that album. I want to go back to what Drake said and let's dive into it. Joe Budden, you have failed at music. Me personally, I wouldn't say he's failed at music. I looked at Joe Budden's career. Joe Budden had a 13-year career, in music specifically, not podcasting, but specifically music. We have from 2003 to 2016. That's 13 years. And not sporadic drops, honestly. 2003, there's a 5-year gap, 2008, but there's 2 drops in 08, 2 drops in 09, really 3 drops in 09. A drop in 13, a drop in 15, and then 16, there's a retirement album. So I don't know if he's failed per se in that. Was a part of Slaughterhouse rap supergroup known for, lyricism, et cetera, et cetera. The only way that you could say, because I think a 13-year career as an entertainer, as somebody in the celebrity sphere or whatever the case may be, that's well but beyond the average. There's a lot of people who don't make it to 13 years. There's a lot of people that don't make it to 13 years at all. That's a fairly long time. The only way, hear me out when I say this, that you can say that he has failed at music is if you're talking about sales. And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. There's a specific reason why I'm bringing this up. I believe that, Drake is conditioning his audience, the newer audience, his fans, fanboys, or whatever, to be that sales group of people. We make fun of people sometimes when they get into that conversation. But truly, the sales matter. Sales are what matter to them. And the reason why that's funny is because Drake recognizes that he sells a lot. He sells a lot. Drake sells a lot of music. Simple as that. So naturally, why wouldn't I say something about sales being the metric that I use in order to judge if somebody's good at music or not? But it's disingenuous in the conversations that some of these people are having. We're talking about quality of music. We're talking about how it sounds. We're talking about laziness. We're talking about writing, and you're talking about sales. If you know things about the rap industry, or hell, any of these industries, at a certain point in time, you're gonna be a seller if you put shit on pieces of paper. If you put shit on a plate, if you put shit on a track, you are going to sell. Right? Drake could release this album in reverse and go platinum again. Like he just could. Sales can be boosted and elevated. Sales don't mean you're making a good product. For all intents and purposes, people say that the iPhone is a terrible product because Samsung does a lot of things that the iPhone should have been doing or should be doing to this day. But the iPhone sells a lot. The iPhone sells a lot of, So, I wouldn't say Joe Budden has failed at music. That's just me. You left it behind to do what you're doing in this clip because this is what actually pays the bills. That lets me know it's about sales and money and stuff like that. And he's become a successful podcaster. No doubt about that. For any artist watching this, just remember you are watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke living check to check, and the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty NC jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you are the GOAT. Again, that's perfectly fine. This isn't the conversation that we're talking about, though. But it's easy to cop out with, I make more money, I have this or whatever. Joe Budden, a critic of music who's critiqued music for a long time, who's critiqued Drake's music for a long time, is giving his criticism on music from the perspective of somebody who has not only made music, but has also been in the rap industry for a long time and seen people come and go. From somebody who loved this artist, still loves this artist. But we go back to sales. I don't know. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is the poster child of frustration and suffering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We didn't even remember your number. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap not because you accomplished all you need to. It's because it's working for you. Or it wasn't working for you. I'm sorry. I never want anybody in the generations to think that the whole everyone's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. while I agree, this is still, again, somebody who has credibility. That sentiment, and that's a bad precedent to set for those people. When you start to measure success this way, specifically by numbers and sales, that's a bad precedent to set for these people. You could be doing bad things and it still could be successful. People who also do these things should be able to tell you about yourself. How people who don't do those things should be also able to tell you about yourself. You know, they should be able to. That's like me criticizing those prank YouTubers and telling them, hey, you know, maybe this is a push too far. This is a bad thumbnail. This is a little edgy. This is too edgy. And them saying, well, how many views do you get a week? Well, I get this many views, so you shouldn't be able to tell me anything. That's crazy. If you need to put it in simpler terms, I own a 767. He owns a modest house in the 937 and flies first class on special occasions. And it's so strange that what's strange in even that point is people are going to gravitate towards that. But relatively speaking, if we're talking about money specifically, yeah, Drake can have a conversation like this to Joe Budden when we're talking about money. That doesn't hit if I try to do the same thing to Joe Budden. It just doesn't, because guess what? I don't own a modest house, and I wouldn't even say Joe Budden's house, relatively speaking, compared to a lot of other Americans, is modest. I wouldn't say that. I trust me, I wouldn't say that. I think he makes enough money relative to a lot of people where they wouldn't say that he has a modest house. Now, to Drake, yes, he has a modest house because Drake owns a football stadium. Like, it is what it is. However, you can't do that to Joe Budden. Like a regular nigga, you can't do that to Joe Budden. I'm sorry, he drives a different car. So why I say that is important. I don't think money is the metric, but Drake has made it so where that money is the metric. It's the measuring stick. But then in turn, you as a viewing audience, you can't do that. What I find funny in the Drake conversation is that Drake does this quite often, where somebody will give him criticisms or diss him about something specifically, and then he'll take it to somewhere else. He'll talk about something else that is not applicable. That whole Pusha T beef, a lot of that Pusha T beef was him taking this to somewhere else that does not matter based off of what is being talked about. He brought up Kanye West damn near every single chance that he got. I found that to be strange from my perspective. Because guess what? Kanye West had nothing to do with your beef. The rap beef was about Bape, if I'm not mistaken, and clothing. And guess what? He took it away from that as well. I don't know. Drake does weird stuff. Drake does weird stuff, deflecty stuff, dodgy stuff, etc., etc. And I just personally think that it is weird. You know, I agree with what a lot of Joe Budden said. I'm interested in to see what he's saying there, but I think he's absolutely right. I think Drake is deflecting, but the money talk appeals to a younger demographic. The money talk appeals to a younger demographic. It's immature. I think as older people, we can see that. And honestly, people just want Drake to be a part of a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? They want him to do things that don't appeal to the younger generation because that's quick, that's fleeting, and that's childish and tiring for a man that's about to touch 40. They want him to appeal to the age that he appeals with. But no, I'm sorry, as a 27-year-old man, and I think other people that are older, now Joe Budden was wrong with this one, but I don't think it's cool for you to say you fuck 25-year-old chicks. I fuck a bunch of 25-year-old chicks. I'm hanging out with Gangy. I've got a lot of Riz. I don't think that that's cool. I don't think that it's cool that you dress like, you know, Yachty and Cardi and all these people like that. I don't think that's cool. I don't think it's cool that you hang out with the gangy and stuff like that. I you know, that's just me personally. But I think that's what a lot of people are saying. It's like, damn, my nigga. What else? I do want to say this last thing before I get off this and go into that academic stream. I don't think we're going to watch all this academic stream because that within itself is an hour. Listen, music, art, creativity, all that stuff like that, it takes life experience. You do need to take a break sometime. Drake said that in his album. He was going to take a break. You do need to take a break. You need to distance yourself. You need to separate yourself, right? So with that being said, I'll say that to all creatives. You cannot continue to be creative if you live your life behind a computer screen or you live yourself in your sheltered little bubble. You've got to travel, you got to experience so you can have new takes, new views, new opinions, and new outlooks on life. And then once you have those new takes, those new views, those new opinions, and outlooks on life, once you've experienced those things, then you could put that into your art. We've seen artists grow exponentially based off of life. I personally don't think I can say that about Drake.